show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You didn't calm the storm. You stepped into it with me. trombone, no trial, no delay. Seventh hush, a throne and rest while your theories rot in godless tests. 6 days strong, no lie can stand. He pulled the world from empty hands. Young earth burns with sacred flame. Not your dust build evolution. In the beginning, God created, and it was good.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome to God TV Radio. Welcome to our special Christmas episode. I, of course, am TTOR, and over there is Brett Keene. Say hi, Brett.
Hey, how you doing, man? Am I coming through clear? It's been a while since I worked these damn things.
Crystal clear. Am I too loud?
Hey, coming through great. I'm just checking mic settings and such.
As you can see, we are using one of those lovely Christmas backgrounds that StreamYard gifts you with at this time of the year. And today's stream is pretty simple. As you can see from the title of the stream, today we're going to be talking about the birth of Jesus. And more specifically, we'll be looking at the accounts in Luke and Matthew that actually talk about Jesus's birth. But in case you're wondering at this point in the live stream, those songs that you heard in the intro were Hold My Bones and Young Earth Burns, which is 2 songs from my brand new album called Faith in the Furnace. You can see the actual disc right there, selling it as a CD. It also has its own page on the TTOR website, ttor.site. So if you're interested in hearing the full album, you can get the CD or check out the website. And I'm working on getting it onto other places as well, and we'll announce those when they become available. But for now, it is available on CD. And with that being said, before we get into this Bible reading, is there anything going on in the life of Brett Keene?
I've been dealing with something called the norovirus, but I think I'm getting over it. And number 2, I've been checking out your Creation Social page, and I can't figure out how to leave comments on other people's posts.
Well, let me pull it up right now. That's a good point. I should advertise that today. Just give me one hot second. I will get logged in on my Creation Social account. Are you talking about from the desktop perspective?
No, when I click on to make a comment, it's like it highlights for me to type, but as soon as I type, it unhighlights me, and I can't leave any kind of post. I don't know. I can post videos, but I can't respond to you. There's been several times where I tried to put something clever for you, but nothing showed up.
All right, well, here's the Creation Social feed. So there's you 4 hours ago. So if I hit comment right there, I see you got a video, and we got a long wall of text. Comment. Let's see. Man, that is some drama. And I just hit comment, and there it is.
That's
On the
odd.
right.
That's exactly what I've done, but what it does
Doesn't show
is,
up.
can you hear me? It highlights, but then whenever I go to type, it like turns it off on me. Could it be that I have an ad killer? Maybe that's causing the problem.
Well, I have an ad blocker on this browser, and I'm not having problems like that. Why
right,
don't
I'm
you
gonna go
screen
check
share
it out real
yourself
quick.
doing it? Yeah.
Well,
I'd love to see it.
give me your link real quick. I'm going to jump on there and try to leave a couple comments, see if that works.
Okie dokie. That can be arranged. Just give you the main activity feed that everybody's in. But I see people commenting. Oh no! While Brett's working on that, let's check out some comments. So I know that Gangster Ghost is here. Hey, Gangster. Hopefully you're still here. You're free to join whenever you want. And I saw a Missing Mod saying hi to Gigi, but she also said hi to me. So, hey, Missing Mod. And then, of course, we got Andrea Segovia wishing me and Brett a Merry Christmas. which I greatly appreciate. And yep, that's all the comments so far. Oh, I heard a ding, ding, ding in my comments. And oh, I saw Brett's comment. Came through. It worked. That was on the creation social end. I heard a little ding. I don't know if you guys actually heard that ding too, or if I'm just going crazy.
No, I heard the ding over there. But whenever I went to somebody else's post, it's not letting me do it. This is odd. On my own post, it lets me comment, but not on other. Let me try one of yours and see what happens. Where
All
the
right.
gracious? You got somebody called Crossfire that's like a major poster.
That's my church.
Where is TTOR at? There we go. The Big Bang. Let's try that on your page.
Okay.
All right. Okay. It says start a conversation, but it's not letting me click to make a comment. When I did it on my own, it was easy, just like you did.
Screen share what you're looking at. We're gonna do some tech resolutions live on the air.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Screen share. Let me turn. Oh my goodness, I got so many tabs open. Let's get that out of the way. And here we go. Screen share screen. Here we go.
I'm looking for it.
I know. All right, I guess we do. We'll try doing window, huh?
Or you can do share entire screen if you have to.
Okay. All right. Let's try.
There we go.
All right, you able to see this on the screen?
Yes. So try leaving a comment.
Click, 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 click all over. And see my little mouse thing?
Yeah. Can you scroll down any more?
Nope.
That's so weird. I've never seen that as a problem.
I'm sorry. You know me. Everywhere I go, there's a problem. There we go. Yep.
That's
I
really
clicked
weird.
on it times.
Did you try refreshing it?
Yeah, I'll try that for you. It was super easy on my own post.
Right.
Just one click, voila, typing, and done.
Well, I definitely don't have you blocked, so I don't know why I would do that.
Let's go to Crossfire. Oh, I know.
Huh.
Click, 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 click.
Well, that's something I'll be working on today, I guess. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely look at that because that should not be happening.
Yeah.
Well, good thing
Go ahead.
I was gonna say at least I have a friend who's used this website before who can resolve that potentially. I'll just show him that part of the stream, and he'll be able to figure out where I can possibly fix that. But anywho, now that that's happened, let's get into the main events, the Bible reading. The Bible reading about the birth of Jesus. So, with that being said, let's do the magical ability to screen share. I think for this one, we'll just share a whole. Well, let's see if this application window works. Share. And then add. Oh, Inception. You can see Bible Gateway on the screen.
Yeah. It's a little hard to read the stuff, though.
Okay. Well, it'll be bigger on the live feed, I think. Let me confirm that, because I'm sitting here with this phone going, wait, can't I just look at this feed live from a different device? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. But yeah, we'll be dealing with the book of Matthew and the book of Luke, and we'll be dealing with specifically Matthew 1, 18 through 25, most of Matthew 2, Luke 1, 26 through 38, and we'll also be dealing with Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 21. Everywhere you go, there's a problem. I see you, Phantom X11. I see you. But anywho, before I continue, let's go ahead and yoink that comment off the screen. There we go. Okay, so we'll just start in Matthew and then we'll go to Luke. We aren't necessarily going in chronological. You know what? We actually could go in chronological order. Why don't we reverse it? Let's do Luke first and then we'll do Matthew. Actually, no, wait. There is a reason why I had that. Was the chronological order. Yeah, I'm definitely still waking up today. Okay, let's see. So Matthew 1:18 through 25 says, "This is how the birth of Jesus the Messiah came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, 'Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins.' All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. When Joseph woke up, he did what the angel of the Lord had commanded him and took Mary home as his wife. But he did not consummate their marriage until she gave birth to a son, and he gave him the name Jesus." Now, the end of this passage in particular is very important in Bible apologetics, because there's a group of people out there who call themselves King James onlyists who will claim that the NIV version of the Bible that I'm reading from is denying Jesus's virgin birth based on some readings in Luke. But as we could see clearly in Matthew 1:25, it clearly says that Mary did not have sex with Joseph. They didn't consummate their marriage until after Jesus was born, therefore affirming the virgin birth. Just thought I'd point that side detail out for some of the more conspiratorial minded among us. So let's move on to Matthew chapter 2, which picks up here. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. That's because he was the ruler of Jerusalem at the time. He was technically, in a way, the king of the Jews. When he had called together all the people's chief priests and teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. When they opened their treasures and presented him Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. So a lot of people tend to overlook this part of the account, but it says that when they found Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, they were in a house. They weren't in a manger like a lot of the nativity scenes indicate. Because of the popularity of nativity scenes, there's a lot of people who assume that basically the shepherds found Jesus in the manger, and then the wise men did too. But they actually were living in a house by this time, which indicates that some time had passed between when Jesus was born and when the Magi actually showed up. Just thought we'd clarify that detail on Christmas Eve. When they had gone, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. "Get up," he said. "Take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, for Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So he got up, took the child and his mother during the night, and left for Egypt, where he stayed until the death of Herod. And so was fulfilled what the Lord had said through the prophet, "Out of Egypt I called my son." When Herod realized that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious, and he gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in accordance with the time he had learned from the Magi. So Jesus was 2 years old at the time that this occurred. Then what was said through the prophet Jeremiah was fulfilled. "A voice is heard in Ramah, weeping in great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because they are no more." After Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt and said, "Get up, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who were trying to take the child's life are dead." So he got up, took the child and his mother, and went to the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus was reigning in Judea in place of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there. Having been warned in a dream, he withdrew to the district of Galilee, and he went and lived in a town called Nazareth. So was fulfilled what was said through the prophets, that he would be called a Nazarene. So that is everything that the Gospel of Matthew says about Jesus' birth. Let's go to the Gospel of Luke next and see what Luke gives us. Chapter 1, verses 26 through 38, we read, "In the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town in Galilee, to a virgin pledged to be married to a man named Joseph, a descendant of David. The virgin's name was Mary. The angel went to her and said, 'Greetings, you who are highly favored. The Lord is with you.' Mary was greatly troubled at his words and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, 'Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over Jacob's descendants forever. His kingdom will never end.' 'How will this be?' Mary asked the angel, 'since I am a virgin?' The angel answered, 'The Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. Even Elizabeth, your relative, is going to have a child in her old age, and she who was said to be unable to conceive is in her 6th month. For no word from God will ever fail.' 'I am the Lord's servant,' Mary answered. 'May your word to me be fulfilled.' Then the angel left her." Now, the way that passage ends is also critical to note for your viewership, because there are atheists out there who will claim that basically Mary did not consent to any of this, and that basically she was raped by an angel, and that's how Jesus was born. But as we can see from verse 38, Mary completely consented to this whole thing. This brings us into Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 21, which says the following. "In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken from the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while Quirinius was the governor of Syria, and everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She gave him cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no guest room available for them. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, 'Do not be afraid. I bring you good news, and that will cause great joy for all the people. Today, in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger.' Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told about this child, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. On the 8th day, when it was time to circumcise the child, he was named Jesus, the name the angel had given him before he was conceived. Now, I believe there's a little bit of follow-up on this. Just give me 1 second. No. Let me try this. I thought there was a whole... there it is. I totally missed that part. So we're going to continue on in Luke chapter 2, and we're going to start in verse 22, and we're going to read through verse 40. When the time came for the purification rites required by the law of Moses, Joseph and Mary took him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every firstborn male is to be consecrated to the Lord, and to offer a sacrifice in keeping with what is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of doves or 2 young pigeons. Now there was a man in Jerusalem called Simeon, who was righteous and devout. He was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was on him. It had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not die before he had seen the Lord's Messiah. Moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts. When the parents brought in the child Jesus to do for him what the custom of the law required, Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light of revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people Israel." Now keep in mind, Jesus is 8 days old when this happens, and this takes place almost 2 years before the Magi show up. The child's father and mother marveled at what was said about him. Then Simeon blessed them and said to Mary, his mother, "This child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed, and a sword will pierce your own soul too." There was also a prophet, Anna, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. She was very old. She had lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage, and then was a widow until she was 84. She never left the temple, but worshiped night and day, fasting and praying. Coming up to them at that very moment, she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. When Joseph and Mary had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own town of Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was on him. And that, ladies and germs, is the entire narrative in the Bible regarding the birth of Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke. And as you can see, it's a little different than the story that we read to children in books or the nativity scenes that we see during the Christmas season. But it is the historical truth of the birth of Jesus, and there were a lot of things that happened that confirmed that he was indeed the Messiah, just with how he was born. Now, come Easter time, we'll talk about Jesus' death and resurrection, which is the biggest thing that God did for us. But Jesus being born was the important first step. And now you know how it went down. So, now that we are here, let's get into other things. So, what has the esteemed Brett Keane been doing for the Christmas season? Very deep in thought, for sure. Couldn't have said it better myself. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not making you all think you're crazy. But it's been a wonderful Christmas season for me. I'll just fill up the time while Brett gets back. Basically, a lot of work at my church, a lot of Christmas events we've been doing homeless care package giveaways in our local community where we actually went into our community and went to where the homeless actually live and gave them packages. We had a kids' Christmas play. We also had a Christmas food box giveaway that people had to sign up for that we did on Sunday this week, where basically families who registered get an entire food box that's basically like a whole Christmas dinner to feed a family. And so people who had trouble getting that this holiday season got one from us if they registered. And then we also did candlelight services on Sunday, and there's another one tonight that I'm not going to be at because I was at the other two. And there's also a holiday hayride that they did on Sunday night where they got on a giant trailer full of hay bales for seating, and they went around town singing Christmas carols, which is a very fun, wholesome event that they like to do every year. And I'm doing this stream today, and then later this evening, I'll be having dinner and a movie with my parents and my sister and her husband. And then I'll basically be doing the same thing with additional family members tomorrow on Christmas Day. But it is important while we're here to remember the reason for the season, and that is the birth of Jesus. Jesus being born is God entering into the human race in space, time, and history so that he could do what he needed to do to get us our salvation. If he doesn't come onto the earth the first time around, that doesn't happen. And it was all prophesied to happen, so God was going to do it. And he did it in the first century. And here we are, nearly 2,000 years later, and Jesus is still relevant, and we are still remembering his birth because he is the most important person in all of human history. Mostly because he's God in human form, the visible image of the invisible God. That is who he is. And I'm going to take a quick peek over on Rumble. I see Andreas over there. That's awesome. And then let's go look on FTJ Media, see if we got any other holiday well-wishers. Nope, not yet. That's okay, though. We'll just give them a link, see if anyone there wants to join in. All right. I'll just drop the link there. Not quite sure who's watching on FTJ Media at the moment, but I am here. Okay. Everything is going awesome here. And I guess while we're here and while we're filling the air, I have a Spotify account now for those who are interested. Brett's been using Spotify for a long time, so he can tell you all about the joys of Spotify and how convenient it is to use as a content creator, because I think originally Spotify was just audio, kind of like SoundCloud, but they started doing video uploads as well. And so basically Spotify is another place where I post my videos, where you can listen to them in audio form if you're like in your car, or if you're on a computer, or you're on like a mobile device or a tablet and you want to watch the video form, you can do that as well. And I see. That's why he didn't respond. He's doing things. Should have read the private chat. But yep, that's what's going on right now. Hopefully you guys are all having fun this holiday season, because I know for some people the holiday season can be a really rough time if they have bad relationships or bad history with their family or with the church or with God in general. Anyway, just going to pull up a couple of things so you guys can know where to go. I'll just go ahead and put that right there on the list as well. And then, okay, let's do this one as well. Go ahead and do a little screen sharing. Okay, application window. All right, and so here you can see on screen my Spotify account, which I recently started putting my videos on, and as soon as this stream is done, it will be uploaded and preserved here as well. So that's definitely a place you should follow me at, because there is a follow button. So you can follow me and stay up to date on all my uploads on Spotify. And then, of course, I'm one of the OG members of BitChute, which you can see right here on screen. A lovely YouTube alternative that has been around since 2017. It was a really growing, thriving site for about the first 3 years, and then they started engaging in some censorship stuff that they shouldn't have done, and they basically killed all momentum for their website. But with YouTube's renewed censorship, with their AI moderation being as bad as it is, and terminating people for things that are completely nonsensical and dumb and are like not even remotely accurate to what they're being banned for, alt text sites are starting to see a slight resurgence in terms of acquiring new users and new content creators. And I've seen a couple of new subs sub to me on BitChute, so I think BitChute's going to start growing again at some point if YouTube keeps going down the road of AI moderation that it is. So if you want to subscribe to me on BitChute, where I have over 2,300 subscribers and I'm approaching 800,000 total video views on the site, then I would encourage you to subscribe to me there, watch my content there. I'll make sure to back up this stream on BitChute just because it's the holiday season. Then, of course, Rumble, which is one of the other places we're live streaming. You can see it right here. Basically, it's the most popular YouTube alternative in the alt tech world. Pretty much every big content creator in the current events political scene is on here, but there's also Christian content creators here. There's also gamers, and there's also more normie content creators that are on the site as well. It's a pretty big site at this point. Not as big as YouTube, obviously, but it is definitely bigger than BitChute currently is, bigger than Odyssey is, bigger than all the other video sites are. Getting views on here has been hard lately, so I'm thinking they may have done something algorithmically to make it harder to get views than it used to be, but it's still a place where I can post freely and live stream freely, so we're still using Rumble. If you want to subscribe to me there and check out my content there, watch my live shows there. Then, of course, there's also FTJ Media, which is another site I'm on, YouTube alternative, powered by the A Video script. My friend Seeking the Truth works as an engineer for the site, and we're streaming there right now as well. So, yep, if you're watching this on FTJ Media, they call this Inception. Inception. But this is another place you can subscribe to me at and check out my content at. I'm a few uploads behind on the offline uploads because I had some issues with an uploader, but I'm going to try again with that site to try and get up to date on my uploads there, and then I will continue uploading there. It never hurts to have too many places to upload content these days, because relying on just YouTube is a really bad idea. You're just asking to be censored at that point. So with that being said, you definitely should not only check out my content on all these other places, Spotify, BitChute, Rumble, FTJ Media, and such, but you should also start posting there yourself if you're a content creator watching this and you haven't already. Because you just never know when it's going to be your time to be censored by YouTube. So you want to be in several other places. So that way, if YouTube goes bad, or even some of these other places go really bad, you still have places people can go where they can find a lot of your content. So they feel like they can still access your stuff whenever they please. It's just a convenience thing at this point. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Link to the room is in the Rumble live chat. It's in the YouTube live chat as a pinned message. And yep, it's in the FTJ media chat as well. So anybody who wants to go ahead and join the stream now, you should feel free to do so. We'll talk about Christmas stuff and we'll talk about any other thing that comes to mind, but just want to give you guys a space to have a fun time, basically. Fun time talking about holidays, a fun time talking about current events if you want to talk about it, or if you just want to pull up and drink some hot chocolate and make the small talk. I know for me, Christmas time of year used to be a lot busier when I was growing up as a kid. Obviously, I am someone who was born in 1990, and so I'm a 90s kid and I'm an early 2000s kid as well. So, I mean, from what I can recall, the early 2000s was basically just an extension of the 90s. So things were pretty similar back then. But yeah, I grew up, playing basketball year round, and I was also into Dragon Ball Z. I also liked the old Star Wars films, like the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. And I also loved like all the Batman movies from back then. So we're talking like Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, even the horrible Batman and Robin movie I found some entertainment out of. And yeah, I grew up watching stuff like that. I grew up with a PS1, playing PS1 games like Spyro the Dragon, and also playing sports games like Madden 2000, NCAA Game Breaker 2001, NCAA Final Four 2001, NBA Shootout 2001. Yeah, a lot of 2001s in those titles. And yeah, so I'd get PS1 games, and then eventually the PS2 came out, and so I eventually got that. I started getting PS2 games as well. So like my Christmases growing up in like my childhood years and like my teenage years and even part of my 20s, used to have a lot more gifts. Basically, my dad's side of the family, we would meet up on Christmas Eve, either at my aunt's house or at my grandma on my dad's side's house. And basically, we'd all get together and we'd play video games together, me and my cousins, and we'd have dinner and we'd chit chat. And then we'd have a huge present opening session where, oh my goodness, did we all get lots of presents, lots of video games, lots of Lego sets back when we were into Legos, certain action figures, and we got movies. And sometimes we'd enjoy our gifts right away, like, little kids do. Oh, it was so fun. Oh, I'd get loaded with presents there. And then go home, wake up in the morning at my parents' house, and we'd get up. Well, I'd get up early in the morning because I, couldn't sleep because it's Christmas. And then my parents would eventually get up around 8 or 9-ish, and my sister would too. And then we'd all engage in opening presents that we got for each other, as well as emptying stockings that had like little gifts and candy in it. And then, let's see, what do we do? So we do that. And then we'd have breakfast late in the morning, which is usually like cinnamon rolls and like eggs and bacon, stuff like that. And then we'd have relatives from my mom's side of the family would either come over or we'd go over to my grandmother's house on, well, she lived close to us most of the time at that time. So we'd go a few blocks away to her house, which was bigger, could hold more people, bigger party. And we'd have a Christmas party either there at my parents' house. We'd have dinner and we'd open up even more gifts. We'd hang out with my family on that side of the family. But also Christmas Day is a huge day for NBA basketball. And so back when I used to be a big NBA fan, I would spend so much time watching NBA basketball games on Christmas Day when I wasn't engaging in the other activities, especially if my favorite team was playing on Christmas Day, which for most of back then was like the Phoenix Suns, Sacramento Kings, stuff like that. So yeah, Christmas used to be so fun and full of gifts and festivities. Now it's a lot more low key now that we're all adults in our 30s and 40s and our parents are now the elderly. But I see you, Brett. We still have fun though, Christmas. This particular Christmas season, actually last weekend, we went to my aunt's house again. And Spent a little bit of time playing games with cousins, but then because we now have college football playoffs at this time of year, and because my favorite team, the Oregon Ducks, was playing their first round game during the party, well, half of us were in the living room watching said game, and that was a lot of fun in its own way. It's the first time ever that my favorite football team has played a game on the same day as a family Christmas gathering. So we made the best of it, and it was fun. Hey, Brett, I was just talking about what my traditional family Christmas looked like when I was growing up into, my teenage years and my early 20s and all that. What was your Christmas traditions like, or your Christmas routine like when you were growing up, Brett?
Well, during the time whenever my grandmother was alive, all the way up until 13, it was really close knit. A lot of family members would show up. In fact, I didn't know a damn one of them, most of them, but it was nice. The typical tree, the ornaments, all the stuff, lights, beautiful. After that, though, things got slow until I became an adult, and then I revisited Christmas for my kids and wife and all that stuff. She's really big into it, loves the music, and she makes really good Christmas dinners. I apologize. I did be right back in the private chat. I've been suffering from the norovirus, and that unfortunately causes major stomach issues. Don't need to go into any more detail, I'm thinking.
Yeah, we get the idea. That's unfortunate that you've come down with that during this time of the year, but I'm glad you're here. I'm
Well,
glad you're.
usually around November and Christmas is where a lot of people get kind of sick and all that, and I think
Yeah.
when you get time, you ought to do a segment in the video because although Christmas is beautiful this time of the year for most people, it's also a time where some people become lonely and sad, and perhaps we could do a prayer for them or, say something nice.
Yeah, I actually kind of mentioned that briefly earlier on, I think while you were gone. Because a lot of people, like you said, Christmas is a wonderful, happy time of year. It certainly was for me. But for a lot of other people, it's not such a fun time of the year because of issues with family or issues with relationships, or like you said, they just don't have anyone and they're all alone. And so for them, Christmas can be a really depressing time. That's why it's important to do stuff for people like that. That's a lot of the reasons why my church, for example, does the Christmas food box giveaways, not just to help struggling families, but to also help people like that who don't have anyone and don't have a way to enjoy Christmas like that. And it's also why we do candlelight services so that people in that situation can have somewhere to go where they feel like, I belong here and I can participate in a Christmas tradition with a larger extended family of sorts. So, yeah, that's why churches like mine do what they do in the holiday season. Um, and that's why when you have a family member who's struggling with that stuff, you got to do your best to make them feel included. Of course, if you have members of your family who are woke leftists and their sole mission in life is to tear down family gatherings, like one of my cousins apparently has decided is a great idea, those people, it's a lot harder to integrate into family gatherings when they just simply don't want to be there and they're living in rebellion against God and Jesus and everything that they grew up around.
That is
But
rough. But that is one of the benefits of church for sure. Christmas time and all around that month and all that. That's when church offers a lot of stuff and a lot of, people to be there for folks who are in need. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Not a lot of other organizations offer that. If a person doesn't go to church and you're absolutely against the idea of being around good people, folks, you can always go to the Golden Corral, eat a buffet, and see if you can't pick up a norovirus while eating a rare steak.
yeah, that's certainly something they can do. Well, what's the thing they talked about in Seinfeld? There was a whole episode on it. Festivus. They can always engage in Festivus if Christmas bothers them so much.
Don't know why anybody would get bothered by any of these beautiful holidays, especially Christmas. It's a great day where, if whether you believe in this or that or blah blah blah, it still gives you an excuse to hang out with your family and eat some good food. What's the problem?
Exactly. That's definitely the case most of the time. Although I know a lot of people are not big fans of the commercialism that's around Christmas, all the toys that they make and all the special deals that they do and all the marketing that they do for Christmas items. I mean, there is a huge commercialism element to Christmas that turns a lot of people off. But, when you're a kid growing up and you're into toys, you're into video games, you're into movies, et cetera, well, then you just you want that stuff naturally, and so you have to engage in that commercialism just a little bit, which is why comedy movies like Jingle All the Way are oh so fun to watch during Christmas time. And I see you there, Jamie Lynn. Merry Christmas Eve. Glad to see you. Oh, it's a wonderful time of the year for sure. But this is actually the first Christmas that I have not been living with my parents or living in some other rental type situation. This is my first Christmas in my own house. And it has been quite an experience so far, having my own decorations, my own tree, being responsible for any and all gifts that go under that tree. It's a very different experience, but it's very fun too. I mean, I know you've been doing that for a long time, Brett, so that's just old hand for you at this point. But for first-time homeowners like me, having your first Christmas in your own home is kind of surreal. Makes me think about the future and who else will be joining me for Christmas moving forward.
Me personally, I'm not really big into putting lights up and all the weird stuff and everything. I'm more of a supervise the situation type of guy. I just sit back and watch the wife and kids do all kinds of neat stuff, light my home up like the Night Rider or something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a tree in my living room, some lights, and a lot of my ornaments that I grew up with are on it. And then I got some various Christmas decorations on shelves and tables around my house. Got a little tiny tree in my room that's decorated all cutely. And then I just hung up some string lights outside my front porch because my house has a front porch. It's like a whole porch with like chairs. It's all screened off. There's a hot tub in it that I haven't checked to see if it works yet. And then got basically just a big old, basically a lot of places to string up lights around it. So yeah, the outside of my house looks pretty good for a first year Christmas. Although I am buried in the back of a trailer park, so there's only so many things I can do that can be seen from the road.
Sweet. Who's this Jamie Lynn, and how come they don't know how to click on a link and come in and hang out?
She's somebody I know, good friend. We at one point went to the same church. She's a nice lady.
She ought to come in and say, yo, voila.
Well, that's up to her. She could be busy, could not be. But anywho, at this point, I think we should talk about our favorite or most memorable Christmas memories. Why don't you go first, Brett? Tell us your favorite or most memorable Christmas memory.
Well, for me, there's never been really anything specifically for myself, but if I had to like throw something in there, it's probably watching your children whenever they experience their first Christmas. That's a beautiful thing, watching them tear into everything and drooling and going, all that kind of stuff. That's an adorable sight to see.
Yeah, I get that. I think one of the most memorable Christmas memories that I have is a few years back. I want to say it's like maybe 4 or 5 years back. We had a Christmas gathering at my aunt's house, and my cousin that I mentioned earlier, the one who wants to destroy our family gatherings and basically disband them, he decided to bring his leftist girlfriend to our gathering, like total woke leftist like him, one of those people that views arguing with your significant other's family members at Christmas to be some kind of sacred rite. Anyway, so we're at the present opening session of this gathering, and I got my cousin Jeremy a really nice InfoWars t-shirt, like a black one, and it's got a big red fist, smack dab on the center, like the Superman logo, with the words "I am the resistance" superimposed right under it. And I remember my cousin Jeremy opened it, and he saw the shirt. He's like, "Oh yeah," and he threw the shirt on and gave me a high five right in front of the girlfriend. So after we have our exchange, I turn my head towards the girlfriend, and oh goodness, she had steam coming out her ears. I have never seen anyone so triggered in my life over an InfoWars shirt. Oh, it was kind of funny in retrospect, and I have no qualms about doing anything that I did right in front of her.
So why is your cousin being like this for this person that you said that's causing the issue with the family?
Well, he's somebody who has been living in rebellion against God and religion for a long time. From what I understand, he was having these issues before he moved out, and basically from what my cousins describe, he's one of those people that adheres to woke leftism because it's a way for him to not be held accountable for whatever it is that he wants to do as far as sin goes. And so, yeah, he occasionally shows up at Christmas gatherings and pretends that he loves everyone, but I learned this year that he doesn't actually contact anyone outside of the holiday season ever. So those words kind of ring hollow. He actually chose not to come this year, which was probably a blessing because we didn't have any drama because of that. But yeah, he's just one of those people that's living in rebellion against God, rebelling against his family, rebelling against what he grew up around. That's basically it.
Well, you know how this usually works. A person does it to their own family, and then they'll probably go out and tell everybody, "Oh, my family just don't accept me because they don't go with my views. I'm so oppressed." That's the usual left virtue.
Yeah, and that's kind of the persecution complex he's doing because one of my other cousins is having some mental health struggles, and basically he's whispering in her ear, trying to convince her that because me and the rest of the family might not agree with some of the things this other cousin is doing, therefore we hate her. And basically, this original cousin is trying to isolate the other one from the rest of us, a cousin that we all grew up together with, having at family gatherings and birthday parties and Christmas parties, and have never once done anything other than love on this cousin. But the one that's the woke leftist, he's trying to basically convince that cousin that we're all just a bunch of hateful bigots and that we don't want her around. And that's just not true. But yeah, when you're a woke leftist like this particular cousin is, apparently you're just full of hate in your heart and you can't stand people being joyful. You can't stand family getting together and having a good time. Apparently, we all need to be good little isolationists who celebrate the approved narrative holidays. Apparently. It's either that or we're just supposed to agree with everything they say and not disagree even just a little tiny bit.
Well, the only thing I can suggest is tell the person to have a Coke and a smile and shut the, you know what? So I was wanting to ask you, TTOR, do you have one of those phones where you're able to run those Q symbols? Do you know what I'm talking about? They look like big old square boxes that are white with all kinds of blotted crap in the middle of them.
No, I don't.
Oh, man. It's kind of like the way it looks like on a Cash App.
Oh, that's square.
Yeah, those kind of things. Is your phone able to read those?
Oh, it can read QR codes, yeah.
Well, the reason why I was asking is I can't for the life of me because I don't have a phone to do that, and I can't verify my YouTube account to make my links clickable on my page. And I'm trying to figure out a way to be able to get something done about that.
So, what's the QR code attached to your YouTube channel?
Yeah, when you go in to verify, I mean, didn't you ever go in to verify your channel to so you'd get the full benefits of it?
Well, I don't meet all the requirements for the minimum monetization level, so I haven't done that.
Well, I'm not talking about monetization. I'm talking about just getting the full eligibility where you can upload as many videos as you want and have clickable links in your description.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know how to do that actually. I don't even see that as an option here on the back end of my channel.
Oh, you go, let me see, you go to view your channel, go to manage videos. I'll tell you where it's at. And then maybe you could tell me if there's a way to figure it out. You probably wouldn't even have to go through that because you have enough subs to be able to just run your history and get it. But I think it's in, you click on settings and video manager, and then you'll see something called feature eligibility. Do you see that?
Hold on. Is this in the YouTube studio?
Yeah, you go where it's video manager where you can see all your videos, normally where you're
So,
able to view the outside of them.
content.
Then you go to over on the left where it says settings.
Uh huh. Settings.
Then you go to channel under general.
Channel.
And then there should be a
Oh,
thing called feature eligibility.
okay.
All right, so if you click that, it says requirements. You either need a video verification, a valid ID, or channel history. Now, you already probably have enough subs, so you'd be able to run the channel history, but that's where it says access features. That's how you can verify it, make it to where all your clicks, your links are clickable, and yada, yada, yada.
Okay. Yeah, it says that my advanced features is enabled because of my channel history.
Oh, well, damn. There you go.
Let's see. I see now what you're talking about. Allows me to embed live streams, create more live streams daily, more shorts, eligible to apply. So, yeah, I can apply for monetization because of this. That's something I should look into what the requirements currently are. But I don't know how worthwhile it is to get monetized on YouTube when they can just take it away from you so easily. I
Yeah,
still
they can.
remember. I still remember on your other channel where you had like 1,200 subs, how you were applying to be monetized, and I think you even got approved for a short time. But then didn't it all just get taken from you?
Yeah, they did all that, but I figured out a way around it. I figured out how to get monetized without YouTube's help.
Oh, that sounds
Well,
very
would
promising.
you like to know it's not illegal?
Okay, sure.
Well, you have but we're talking earlier about how you dropped a CD. Well, if you went through something like CD Baby or one of those companies, they content ID all your stuff. So if you play one of your songs off your CD, once it's content ID as your intro and outro or whatever, it's going to be picked up, and then ads will be ran on your video from CD Baby through YouTube, and you get paid that way. That's why I do those long ass intros on my channel. People are always like, "Bro, why are you always playing music all the time?" Because I'm getting paid.
Well, also the name God TV Radio might have something to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Emphasis on the radio. Hooey. What
So there you
fun.
go. That's how to monetize yourself without even bothering with YouTube.
That is a good way, for sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been getting many views on the videos this month, but from what I understand, December is usually a low month for most people and their channel views.
Yeah, that's when everybody's hanging out and doing their thing and getting themselves in trouble on the Epstein list. By the way, did you hear what happened with the list?
No.
Oh my goodness. They released thousands of documents, and of course, they put all that black crap over it in order to redact it. a bunch of stuff when they were supposed to just release it loose. But somebody figured out, and they believe it's someone who's connected with Elon, how to remove all the redactment ink so you could see exactly what was said. And people have been releasing the clean copies all over X. So when you get an opportunity, that might be something you want to enjoy for Christmas.
It's on. Is it trending on Twitter right now?
It's not trending, but there are people out there who've been posting links as well as imagery of it. It's thousands of documents, so you got to look around for a clean PDF file or something. But it's a lot of information, a lot of naughty people out there. Unfortunately, it breaks my heart because, for years I defended Michael Jackson, and apparently I might be incorrect about him.
I see. Well, that's a bummer, but at least they found a way to get around that little obstacle. But
Yeah, I have a feeling that Pam Bondi's going to be in serious trouble because how does the government release something trying to hide things and then some average layman can go in there and figure out? Here's what I heard. This will make you laugh. Apparently, Elon owns the Adobe PDF format or whatever, and he set it up to where people can do these little ink blotches. Well, apparently, right before the Epstein thing dropped, he removed the feature, so when the PDF file went to other people, it wasn't no longer an obstacle for people. They could just get rid of it themselves. Isn't that ignorant? Elon had to have known that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, that sounds exactly like that. Sorry, I'm just looking at my Twitter feed right now, and ooh, the YouTube stuff is amazing. Actually, I'm going to pull up a few of those just so people can know this holiday season what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of people still, even after a whole decade of YouTube censoring people in various ways, there's still a lot of people who think YouTube censorship is not really a thing,
Oh, it
or that
is.
it's overblown.
We're up to 15 million YouTube accounts at this point. You want to see something that you'd be able to make a damn series about? Subscribe or follow TeamTube on X and just read all their main posts. Literally thousands of people are coming in going, "What happened to my channel?" And they're showing images and pictures, and people are getting mad. They're talking about class action lawsuits and all this. It's beautiful, man. I love it. I think we're finally going to see go.
I hope so. Something has to be done if anyone wants to be a content creator who can actually get seen by other people.
Oh, I was thinking about your Creation Social website earlier and stuff while I was dealing with my problem over here. And I got to thinking, since you're running it on an activity feed, there's a good chance that you need to give permission on the main site in order for it to be able to allow comments on that. I'm thinking,
That's weird. I shouldn't need that. Let me go look at the feed section right now. Feed. Okay. Yeah. It would be. Wait, I know it's here. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Let's go to activity feed. All right, so now we're in activity feed. Let's see. Anyone can join. Anyone in the network can view content in the space. Anyone in the network can see the space. Anyone in the network can invite members to join it. Anyone can join. So yeah, there's nothing in the privacy or access. Let me see what else can be done. Feed. Okay, so there's the feed. Everything's on. Polls and questions, articles, posts. Okay. That's not a thing. Nope. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see anything in here that would prevent anyone from being able to post in it, especially in the privacy and access. It's an open group for anyone. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get in touch with Seeking the Truth to figure this one out because it should not be functioning that way. Nothing in the private chat. Is old Brett Keane there? The Grinch got him. The Grinch got him. Oh no, the Grinch got him. I feel so bad. But the Grinch has to eat too. Anyway, let's see. No one in the Rumble chat. No one in the FTJ Media chat. Okay. Okay, well, let's just go ahead while Brett's doing what he's doing, and we're going to look at some tweets that illustrate the point regarding YouTube censorship. My Twitter feed is full of it at this point. Just go ahead and share this application window. So we got this person named Nav1S, YouTube Insider. We confirmed there were no bugs or known issues of YouTube systems. Also, Team YouTube rejects both my appeals within hours, calling it a careful review. Screenshots here prove it. 204 days later, still asking for help here. Yeah, that's the thing. There are people who've gotten censored by YouTube recently for things that are really, really dumb. Like, for example, someone was banned because they apparently brandished a weapon on video, but when you look at the actual footage, it tagged as being the offending footage. He wasn't holding a weapon. He was holding a microphone, like a standard podcasting mic that literally just about every podcast on the planet has access to or has in their possession. So that would technically mean that any channel that does podcasting on YouTube would be guilty of brandishing a weapon according to the AI, and yet only this person was banned for it. And then there was another person who was banned from YouTube because what happened were a whole bunch of spam bots showed up in their comment sections of videos and just started leaving spam comments by the boatload within like a couple hours. And what made it especially bad is that none of these bots' posts could be seen in YouTube Studio by the channel creators. So the only reason he knew it even happened in the first place is because one of his subscribers outside his channel noticed all these comments and took screenshots of these bot comments and posted them to the creator's Reddit thread. And that's how the creator found out. But yeah, basically there's a new wave of spam bots that are within the YouTube system that can attach themselves to a channel or a video and just do all the spam stuff that triggers YouTube's AI systems to ban your channel instantly.
Best way to handle that is whoa. Why am I echoing?
I don't know.
Hold on. What is going on? I don't know why I'm echoing. Okay, so what people do is they can comment stuff all. That way you don't get spam like that.
Yeah, that could be a good workaround. Here's another one. Just came across this morning. This was apparently a Christmas gift from YouTube to someone named Sora. My channel was falsely demonetized this morning. All of my content follows YPP. It's entirely original and family friendly. This is my job. I just dropped out of college for this. I kindly ask you take a second look into this. It's the worst news ever to wake up to, and no creator should have their job at risk due to the fault of an AI system. Please repost, guys. Thanks. And I've seen this kind of story is like a dime a dozen over the last month. I've just been saturated with posts like this showing up in my Twitter feed. Just one of many examples. And here's another one. A guy who calls himself Muhammad68549, or just called Muhammad for the short version. Let's look at his original post, and then we'll read the one I had on screen. He said, "This shouldn't be normal, but apparently on YouTube it is. For over 100 days, my channel has been gone, and for over a week, there has been absolute silence from Team YouTube. No replies, no replies to DMs, no updates, no human response at all. This isn't just frustrating, it's alarming. What happened to me is a clear example of how creators are being erased by automation without explanation or accountability. Here's the reality. My main channel, fully monetized and actively growing, was terminated because of a secondary channel on the same device. That secondary channel had only 4 videos, all original, never uploaded anywhere else, fully scheduled, with no strikes, no warnings, and no violations of any kind. Nothing about it qualified as spam. Nothing suggested automation or abuse. Yet it somehow caused my main channel to be wiped out entirely. The reason given? Spam. That's it. No evidence, no timestamps, no video references, no clear policy explanation. To make it worse, YouTube's support contradicted itself. One response claimed the channel was already reviewed and rejected almost instantly. Another response said the review was still ongoing. So which is it? This level of inconsistency makes one thing clear. There is no transparent process and no real human oversight involved. Meanwhile, my channel wasn't dormant or low effort, it was performing well. Real viewers, real engagement, real growth, and yet it was erased without warning as if years of work meant nothing. For more than 100 days, I've asked a single reasonable question. What exactly did I violate? And for more than 100 days, the answer has been copy-pasted, silence, or your case is under review. An automated system makes the decision, that same system reviews the appeal, and the creator is left powerless. That is not fairness. This is not due process. This is automation policing creativity without accountability. If only viral creators or massive channels deserve clarity, then YouTube has stopped being a platform for creators and becomes a numbers-only machine. And if YouTube no longer values human creators, it should say so openly instead of letting algorithms erase them. Because this isn't just about losing channels anymore, it's about losing trust. And once creators lose trust, they don't complain forever, they leave. Then he did a follow-up post saying, automation is now judge, jury, and executioner on YouTube. Content control is no longer human-driven. It's automated and often wrong. An algorithm removes the channel. That same system reviews the appeal, and the response is always the same copy-paste template. Years of real work disappear with no warning, no timestamps, no video references, and no clear explanation. Without real human review, there is no fairness, no accountability, and no way to restore creators' rights. This isn't just about taking down channels anymore. It's about automation, policing creativity, and erasing trust. Then we got Nanny Johnson responding to Neil Mohan, who's the current CEO of YouTube. Neil Mohan was celebrating the 20th birthday year for YouTube yesterday, and Nanny Josh said in response, celebrating 20 years of YouTube is great, but many creators are being wrongly terminated by automated systems with no real human review. I'm one of them. My channel was removed for spam deceptive practices despite organic growth and full rule compliance. Please acknowledge and fix these cases so creators aren't erased by AI mistakes. And these 5 posts that we looked at are just a small drop in the bucket of what I see in my Twitter feed every single day for like the last month. It's just horrendous what YouTube censorship is like these days, because they've gone from humans censoring people due to their political bias to now you got AI doing it. And I see you there, Proverbs guy. Hello. So what have you been seeing, Brett, in regards to YouTube censorship, not just lately, but throughout your time on YouTube?
Oh, I've seen it take out a lot of people. It has taken out some people that aren't too lovey-dovey with me recently, some big people, and they ain't happy. But I told them, hey, it's probably the AI. Always blame the AI.
Well, at this point, they've made it clear that that's what's going on. I mean, Neil Mohan even came out after all this backlash had been going on for a while, and he's like, nope, nothing wrong here. Everything's working as it should. No bugs or glitches in the AI. Everything's working fine. It's like, oh, really? So then this is all by design. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's been a lot. I've read the constant pages and all that, and just a lot of people are upset about it. One of the worst things is there's a guy who's about, I guess, between 25 and 30 years old, who's been doing YouTube for a long time, and they got him because whenever he was 13 and had a YouTube account, a different one, he, I guess, left some negative comments for somebody, and their AI picked it up from like 20 years and took out his big main channel because it was connected with the new stuff.
that is pretty stupid. But that's also part of the woke cancel culture that we've been dealing with for years. Basically, things that you said as a kid that were really stupid get held against you for life, even when you grow up and you're no longer holding that view, or even if you're going around condemning that view. You're just never, there's no forgiveness for your sins in that worldview. Once you do something, it sticks with you forever.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the class action suits. A lot of very, very wealthy YouTubers got removed, and they're not going to be happy. People who are in the millionaire type of status who are not going to be pleased with this. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that actually go down. I'd also like it if some other platform would start to grow again so that we can have somewhere else as creators to invest in.
We do.
And by that, I mean other platforms where you can reach a large audience. Because what a lot of
XTV.
creators want, what a lot of creators want, the ones that are like, oh, YouTube censorship is bad. Look at how they punish my 300 to 600,000 sub channel. They want a place where they can reach a similar level of audience, like same numbers, basically. Because when,
XTV.
right, that's in beta currently, right? When's it supposed to
Supposed
become
to
public?
roll out. Supposed to roll out at towards the middle of January. It's going to be incredible. Imagine like a YouTube type of framework along with Patreon all in one. Everything, everything you could possibly want in one, connected through the X network.
So basically, from how I understand it, you would upload a video to your X account, and then the XTV app would pick up your account's videos, right?
The app's already got something. If people who have phones and all that are already able to do some of it, but it's going to become part of the main thing where PC users can use it as well. And he's also doing something called X Money. So you're going to get paid through it. People get monetized right away. They don't have to be eligible for stupid crap. If you put content, you get paid, that kind of stuff. A lot of people are also going to be surprised too because they're going to be incorporating Eve and some of the figures that you've seen in my videos into Grok. So when you go to Grok in January, you might actually hear an AI go, "Hey, TTOR, what you up to? What would you like to do today? Would you like me to help you optimize your video that you're uploading to give you the best results?"
Right. Basically, what I'm trying to do with Chat GPT, but it would be doing it for X videos.
Yeah, and it would do it for you right on the spot and everything. It would take care of that. There's kind of a text way to do it already. I don't know if you noticed that when you're doing comments.
I don't spend a lot of time with Grok, unfortunately. Like, not the main Grok. I do some stuff with the Imagine Grok on the Grok website, but that's it.
Oh, well, check this out real quick. Go to post something real quick, and I'll show you a trick. You're gonna
All
love
right.
this.
Let's just get set up for that. I'm going to bookmark that. Okay.
You're gonna like this.
All right. I will take your word for it. Just need to screen share again. All right. Here we go. All right. So post something.
Yeah, let me make it big screen so I can see this with you. All right,
All
so
right.
type in, "Hey everybody, I hope you're having a Merry Christmas." Just type that, but don't post it.
All right.
All right, now take your mouse and the very third button on the bottom row from the left, right there. Click that.
Enhance your post of Grok.
Now
So then,
do enhance your post.
all right.
All right, go to as personality.
Uh-huh. Ooh,
Go
look at that.
go to influencer. And you can see which one would give you the most views. You see one says 90%, the other says 20.
Uh-huh.
So you sometimes it doesn't work on the first click. You may want to copy that post and then paste it over your original one, or you could just hit insert post. It might actually replace it for you. Go ahead.
Oh, there you go.
Ta-da.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to start working on that.
You can also generate images along in there as well if you want.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool. I'm definitely gonna look at guys. Brett King giving me presents on Christmas Eve.
So imagine though that you upload a video and it actually looks more technical, and it's going to look a lot like I've seen some of the beta images of it. It'll look a lot like Odyssey. Do you remember what Odyssey looked like?
Yeah.
But you're going to be able to have buttons underneath, like your Cash App, under your video, as well as your PayPal. You'll be able to put any icons you want. You'll have a button that you could actually customize it. It could say TTOR website. So people are watching your videos and then they'll look under your video and see that. And they'll already know they're on the X site. That's, obvious, right? So
Right.
they pay you through it. They can do that, and you can also schedule them, and you can make it to where only subscribers can watch it or whatever. And it's going to be beautiful. And a lot of people's going to do it because people are tired of getting goofed on by the left wokest on YouTube.
Yep. Or the AI at this point. So anyway, before Brett gave me that lovely gift, I was going to show off and read this post related to YouTube censorship by a man named Ian, who said, "I'm completely exhausted and heartbroken with YouTube. I'm losing everything and I don't understand how this is possible. There are 0 videos on these channels and I'm getting demonetized for no videos on the channel. This just happened yet again. Nothing uploaded, nothing to review, nothing to violate. Weeks before any of this happened, I actually deleted every single video on every channel specifically to make sure there would be no issues. And yet I'm still being targeted and demonetized anyway for nothing. I have a team of people who rely on my channel, and this is our livelihood. I'm speechless." Well, Ian, if you had been reading the room for the last 8 years, you would have started diversifying into sites like Rumble, like BitChute, like Odyssey a long time ago. You could have helped those sites grow even more, and you would have had a place where you could have built up an audience and not have to worry about what YouTube does to you. It's just that when you put all your eggs into the YouTube basket because of how much growth you can get on YouTube potentially, you leave yourself wide open to losing it all with a click of a button or with the passing of an AI's thought. Not that that makes it any worse or any better. It's just you got to be smarter than Ian was during these kind of seasons of censorship as an internet content creator. But then again, the powers that be don't like it when people like us compete with them in the media landscape. So all kinds of dirty, underhanded stuff goes on all the time. We'll just stop sharing that. But we've been going for about an hour and a half. Is there anything, Brett, that you would like to impart on our audience before we end this live stream?
Now, just let people know that whenever XTV drops, which is going to be in January, I mean, I don't know how much of it's going to be, but they say it's going to be functional. I keep reminding people I do plan on migrating over to that. The only two things that I think are worth a damn TTOR is Spotify and XTV that's coming. That's it. All this other crap it can burn in hell.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I would definitely agree with Brett on saying that it's good to diversify your content on lots of platforms. That's why I've started doing Spotify myself, like Brett's been doing for years. That's why I've been using sites like Rumble, BitChute, and whatnot for many years now. And that's also why when XTV finally becomes a thing and I figure out how to use it, I will be investing into that as well just to see what it can do. So yeah, definitely if you're a content creator watching this, diversify where you put your content because the mainstream stuff, if you put all your eggs in that basket, they will censor you. And so you need to have multiple places. So that way, if something goes down, you can be like, oh, well, that sucks, but I got all these other places where all that same content is. So no loss.
There's a couple things that people need to remember too once XTV drops. A lot of you out there, you want to upload videos, but you're not exactly sure what to do with titles or your description or what tags should I use, blah, blah, blah. The beauty of it is you're going to have AI basically say, here's what you should use as your description. It'll offer you different options. It'll offer you a title that'll maximize what your video is summarized about, and it'll give you the proper hashtags and meta tags and everything you need. And you won't have to do shit. Just make your video and upload it. And if you want to, it's even going to have an AI enhancer where you can say, hey, spice it up a little bit, but keep my original in case I don't like what you did. You see what I mean? It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like having your own staff working with you, TTOR, to be able to do what you want to do. There was something else I was wanting to find out too. Did you manage to figure out how to get yourself monetized on Spotify?
I have not tried yet. No.
Well, you should. You should.
Yeah,
It definitely works.
I'll work on that. But right now, I don't even have an audience on Spotify, so I want to build that up a little bit.
It's true. Get some people over there. Yeah.
Yep. Which, if you are watching this, whether it be on YouTube or FTJ Media or Rumble, there should be a link to my Spotify account in the description box below, so that way you can go there, follow me, and when stuff becomes new on Spotify, watch me there. Spotify is a good alternative that a lot of people should be using if they're content creators at this point. Other than that, I just need to talk to Brett after the show, and we will see you all next time we do a live stream. Have a good one.